Thank you very much, everyone. I'll try to be brief. I'll try not to disrupt any of the sensitive communications equipment here on the table. First, let me begin by thanking you, Radwan, and all the staff here at CSID for the work that you do. You're not only a bridge between different points of view here in Tunisia, you're a bridge between Islam and democracy. And in addition to that, you're a bridge between the United States and Tunisia. You have offices here in Tunis and in Washington, and you play an important role in understanding between the two countries. So I want to thank you and your organization for everything you do. I'm going to speak about U.S. views on the democratic transition underway in Tunisia. I'm going to talk a little bit about how we see our role here. And at the end, I'll just say a few words about how we see Tunisia as a model, which is the subject of the conference. First, in terms of our support for the democratic transition here in Tunisia, President Obama set the tone from the very start, the day after the revolution, when he said that we stand with the people of Tunisia and their aspirations for a democratic future. Since the revolution, we have supported Tunisia, and we will continue to do so as Tunisia remains on the democratic path. We have no desire or wish to become involved in the political process here in Tunisia. The political choices here are for the Tunisian people to make, not for outsiders, and there's no outside model that can be imposed on Tunisia. Tunisia has to build a model that works for the Tunisian people. Our focus as outsiders is on the outcome of the process. What we're seeking as an outcome is a genuine democracy in Tunisia, which respects universal values, including freedom of press, freedom of speech, freedom of association, and protects the rights of all Tunisia's people, including women and including minorities. We seek a democracy that is based on a broad consensus of Tunisian society. Our support is also not specific to any one party. Before the election in 2011, we had a good relationship with the interim government headed by Beji Kayasepsi. After that election in 2011, we formed a very good relationship with the government headed by Hamadi Jabali. And we are now building an equally good relationship, I think, with the new government that's just been formed, headed by Prime Minister Ali Nabay. And I can assure you that we will have a good relationship with any government that emerges from the democratic choice of the Tunisian people and keeps Tunisia on the path to democracy. Now, I think other speakers have pointed this out, and I would agree that the transition here in Tunisia has been more difficult, I think, than most Tunisians expected. As you said, it's very easy to get rid of a dictator. It's a lot harder to form an enduring democracy and to develop a constitution and do all the things that need to be done. There has been polarization here. There has been political violence, and those do not serve the broader interests of the Tunisian people. But there have also been there has also been progress along the path, and I think it's important that we acknowledge that as well. The steps that need to continue, of course, are the completion of the drafting of the Constitution and the organization of free and fair elections. Now, my second question I was going to ask and speak to today is how we see the role of the United States along with the rest of the international community here in Tunisia. First, our role, as we see it, is to support the process that is underway to complete the democratic transition, to finalize the Constitution, and to hold free and fair elections. We believe that these steps should be completed as quickly as possible in order to maintain momentum and provide clarity to the Tunisian people about the direction of the democratic transition. Free and fair elections should also include access for domestic and international observers to provide legitimacy to the results. And as I said, the political decisions here in this process are for the Tunisian people to make. When we add our voice, it is to support the integrity of the process, or to emphasize fundamental principles such as respect for human rights, or to oppose violence in the political process, as we did after the assassination of Shukri. Second, we see our role here is to support the development of the Tunisian economy. Since the revolution, the United States has provided roughly $350 million in assistance. The bulk of this assistance over the past year was for budget support and guarantees for government borrowing. Going forward, we intend to focus our program on assistance in the priority of creating jobs in the private sector. So our programs will include support for small and medium enterprises and franchises through the Overseas Private Investment Corporation, and also to provide support for the information technology and communication sector through USAID. We also hope to promote stronger trade and investment ties between our two countries. The third area where we see a role for ourselves is to help the government of Tunisia deal with the security challenges and carry through its plans to reform the security sector. We have long worked with the Ministry of Defense and the Tunisian military. We are now beginning a program to work in parallel with the Ministry of Interior and its security forces. Our programs will include support to address both internal and external security, fight terrorism, and to help create security forces that serve the Tunisian people in a democratic system, rather than serve only the regime as they did under the previous dictatorship. Transforming the security sector in a manner consistent with human rights and democratic norms will not be easy, but it is essential if the political transition is to succeed. Finally, let me go back to the question, is Tunisia still a model for the region? I believe that it is. I believe that other countries can be inspired by what has happened here and follow progress that has been achieved here. But at the same time, I think after 2 years of whatever we call it, the Arab Spring or the Arab Awakening, I think it's become very clear how much each country in transition is different. Syria and Libya and Egypt all face issues and challenges that are unique and that are different from the ones that are faced here. It is clear that success here would inspire others, but it would not be sufficient in itself to change the outcomes anywhere else. So I think that it's important now to view democratic transition in Tunisia not so much as a model for others, but as an objective in itself. Democracy is the right thing for Tunisia. The Tunisian people want democracy, and we in the US and elsewhere believe that they deserve democracy. This is our hope for Tunisia, and the US is prepared to do what we can to help achieve this objective. The United States remains a friend of the Tunisian people, and we will continue to support the transition to an enduring democracy in which the rights of all Tunisians are respected and protected. Thank you very much.